Oh, trust me, I know I just threw the algorithm for one of those loop-de-loop. Yeah, but you're seeing this right. This is Tony Talks Vested Up Sports Take early in the morning. Oh my gosh. The Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns. Let me go and send this notification out. All right, if I got 4 people in the room because the algorithm just went crazy. Listen, hey, if you're my day one investor for the Shedeur Sanders, there we go. Here we go. I got my people in the room so I can start. I got 4,000 people in the room. Come on, algorithm. Find the investors. Find investors. And I'm not going to keep you short. I told you last night that I was going to come back. What's up, Lady PC? And what's going on? Me to love with my flowers. Come on with it. Listen, this is easy work. And I'm going to start off and say this right here. I'm going to talk about the Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson only this morning. This is Tony Talks Vested Up on the 50-yard line. And listen, you know I'm going to give you my perspective because based off everything that's going on over here at this channel, this is easy work. Amen, amen, amen. Listen, I've been watching and I still have been reporting a segment, my sports take in the segment regarding Carmelo Anthony. So don't think that I forgot all of my Vestas, my Shedeur Sanders Vestas, my Cleveland Browns Vestas. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. If we need to change uniforms mid-season or before the season, guess what? I'm okay with it. I had already told the Cleveland Browns, if you're going to go ahead and trade Shedeur, just go ahead and make the announcement. Matter of fact, it wouldn't even talks about that. And I'm going to give you my perspective on that, and I'm not going to keep you long. After the Myles Garrett trade, there was going to be nothing that the Cleveland Browns could ever do to us to shock us. Y'all already know we had that conversation. You know what we had that conversation. But at that time, we were talking about the quarterback competition between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. So we was like, hey, Cleveland Browns, go ahead, do what you got to do. If Shedeur Sanders is going to be QB1, just say it. If Shedeur Sanders is going to be QB2, just say it. But now, why is it talks about Shedeur Sanders being possibly traded? All right. So let me go and give you my honest opinion, like I've always had since day one over here at Tony Talks Vested Up Compelling Sports. Come on, algorithm, find my investors for this morning break regarding sports. What's up, Mel? You know I missed you. What's up, Justine? You know I missed you. What's up, Mel? Okay, come on, algorithm. Put it in the atmosphere. Blind Beauty Big Time. Good morning, lovelies, and have a beautiful day. Oh, this about to be short because let me go ahead and give you my honest opinion. And you know me, I'm finna give it to you raw, and I'm finna hit you real straight on the 50-yard line this morning. I don't know why Tony Grossi, so this is my opinion. I don't know why Tony Grossi and everybody else, they're panicking, or I'm not going to say everybody else, but I'm definitely going to say Tony Grossi. When he was like, what is the Cleveland Browns doing? Oh, do they not like the kid? What are they doing? Just let him go. I really don't think, to be honest with you, and you know me, I'm going to give you my honest opinion, right or wrong. When they released that there are talks about Shedeur Sanders, the other teams, there's talks behind the scenes regarding Shedeur Sanders. I think that's just what it is. And I said this morning, hey, what's up, Sherrod? How you doing? And so this is my take on it. This is my honest take. And like I said before, I say if teams, I said this, especially after the draft and when this Deshaun Watson conversation came up, I said other teams are going to continue to watch the Cleveland Browns to see if they're going to be the Cleveland Browns in this matter regarding Shedeur Sanders and the Deshaun Watson quarterback competition. So if I'm other teams and I see where the Browns is going to fumble Shedeur Sanders, of course I'm going to reach out to the Cleveland Browns because I see that now they may getting delusional over there. Anybody in the whole entire NFL teams, there is no way that they would choose a Deshaun Watson over Shedeur Sanders. This is what the talk's about. If they see they're about to fumble Shedeur Sanders, wouldn't you pick up the phone and have trade interest into a Shedeur Sanders? Now listen, you know why I think that the Browns is not even going to entertain this? They may have a conversation, but I don't think they're going to entertain this, because if the Browns entertain this year, first of all, you're going to lose all the momentum. Second of all, nobody is not going to watch the Browns. And then third, the NFL, what do they call it? Streaming platforms is going to say, what are you doing over there, Cleveland Browns? Remember, hey, this year we're going to give you so many games on TV. Let's not forget, and I haven't forgot, the Cleveland Browns are in so many prime time slots for this year, only because of the Shedeur Sanders and the Shedeur Sanders supporters. So why would the Cleveland Browns give that up? Now you can say, well, Tony Talks Vested Up. The Cleveland Browns gave up Myles Garrett. Yes, they gave up Myles Garrett. We went over here. We had our own traumas over here. But when I broke down the age, and everything, it was the best time for them to get someone like a Jared Verse. Okay. But giving up a Shedeur Sanders and you don't know what you got in Deshaun Watson, who hasn't played in 6 years. Let me tell you one thing. I agree there are talks, because other teams is starting to foam at the mouth because they're going to think that the Cleveland Browns is about to fumble. Yes, there is some teams thinking that the Cleveland Browns is going to fumble. Now, if they do fumble Shedeur Sanders, whatever happened to the Browns, that's up on them. That's up on them. But I don't think they're going to fumble Shedeur Sanders, because if they remove Shedeur Sanders off the roster and go with a Deshaun Watson, who's going to be backup? Now, you know, I have much faith in Taylon Brown. I'm saying in Taylon Green, because he definitely going to be over Dylan Gabriel. He's definitely going to be over Dylan Gabriel. And I have much faith in him. But even at this point, he's not a Shedeur Sanders. Taylon Green will never even be a Shedeur Sanders. Taylon Green is going to be Taylon Green. But if you remove Shedeur Sanders out of that pecking order, are you crazy, Brown? Well, I would say this. If they do remove Shedeur Sanders out of that pecking order, that means they want to lose every game, or the majority of the games this year, because they are looking for a quarterback next year. So all I'm going to say, and also this right here, I do want to put this out here. Just like Deshaun Watson has gotten drunk on the Shedeur Sanders aura and the influence and the characteristics that he brings into the locker room, if the Cleveland Browns trade Shedeur, that means they have got drunk on Shedeur Sanders supply also. What Tony Talks Vested Up, what you talking about? Well, have you been around somebody and they bring such a positive energy into the room and you become like intoxicated? And because of the energy that's coming off of them, you feel like that you could conquer the world also. If the Browns trade Shedeur at a time like this, where they actually could be heading to the playoff contentions, which I think they will, they keep Shedeur Sanders, and definitely a Super Bowl run before his first rookie contract is over. If they trade Shedeur, they definitely got drunk off Shedeur Sanders supply. And I'm like, the Cleveland Browns can't be this crazy. The Cleveland Browns cannot be this crazy. Yeah, they probably picking up the phones. You know, they beating on their chest. Yeah, we got all these teams calling about Shedeur Sanders. It's only because they think you're about to fumble one of the greatest franchise quarterbacks the NFL has never seen. Shedeur Sanders is a global icon. And let me tell you one thing to all of you media pundits. You always talking about what comes with Shedeur. What comes with Shedeur? Are you talking about this fan base that brings in revenue and increases revenue and attention to any team that he goes to? If any team has a first round quarterback. I'm sorry, a QB1 quarterback. If they get intimidated, if Shedeur Sanders is added to the roster, that is your problem as an NFL team owner, because your QB1 should never be intimidated by your QB2 if Shedeur Sanders is traded to another team as QB2. What are we talking about? Are we talking about kids? Are we talking about men that is in a QB1 competition? I'm into the QB1 slot. Now, I'm going to go ahead and be honest, and you know how I'll be honest over here. If I was a QB1 and Shedeur Sanders is behind me and I feel that presence that has captivated the world, I'm going to feel that pressure. But I'm not going to let that stop me from being QB1 on that team. But yeah, they definitely need to be afraid. Yeah, I'm playing devil's advocate this morning. But the Cleveland Browns, and I'm going to say this, I could come on here and I could tell you everything that I'm hearing from other content creators, because trust me, I'm double vested over here, baby. I'm double vested over here. I'm tackling 2 topics at the same time, and I'm going to give you my best on each topic. But I could follow their narratives, but really what I'm thinking this is, the Cleveland Browns is just letting you know that other teams is calling them for that Shedeur Sanders that all the other teams passed over. You know, the Cleveland Browns right now is just kind of beating their chest because they got that Shedeur Sanders that everybody passed over. They know what Shedeur Sanders is doing, and you know what? Why no other teams, right? For everybody, for all of these narratives that said, oh, the reason why the Cleveland Browns is going to put Deshaun Watson out there is because of his trade value. Ain't nobody calling for no Deshaun Watson. Why nobody ain't calling for Deshaun Watson? They don't want no Deshaun Watson. They want the Browns to fumble Shedeur. And I'm telling you, Todd Monken, Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam, if you fumble Shedeur, we are definitely gone. That desert that you just came from, that desert, that desert that you came from and that you was living in for decades, you will return to what you're familiar with, because we will be gone with Shedeur, with our revenue, with all our fan base, with all the attention. Do you know what other teams are licking their chops? Because Andrew Berry, because you are the Cleveland Browns general manager, and I'm going to talk to you, Jimmy Haslam. Todd Monken, I'm not talking to you, sir, because you just got here. But if they see what you gave away, your Myles Garrett, you don't think they would say, well, damn, if they gave away Myles Garrett with the right player, you don't think they're going to try to, how can I say it, coach the Cleveland Browns out of a Shedeur Sanders? And everybody is already saying that the Browns will definitely not request a pick 5 for Shedeur Sanders. That's even telling us that we already know that Shedeur Sanders should have been a first-round quarterback. Now, if I go to the comments, and then I'm going to let you go, because that was my perspective on what's going on behind the scenes. I think the Browns is just letting this out because they beat in their chest, because they got a Shedeur Sanders. They're not even calling for a Dylan Gabriel. Why are they not calling for a Dylan Gabriel? They're not even calling for Deshaun Watson. And guess what? Taylor Green is just tucked right here, because the Cleveland Browns know that next year, Shedeur Sanders definitely should be QB1 and Taylor Green QB2. This year here, Shedeur Sanders should be QB1, QB2. Now let's go ahead and talk about another rumor. It's coming out very aggressively that Deshaun Watson will start the season. And we already talked about that. We've talked about that, okay? Let me go to roll y'all comments. We've talked about that. Now, whoever, and I think y'all are part of that live, whoever is the Wheels guy, family Wheels guy, y'all know that Vesta that came in here. I think that Vesta found me immediately after the NFL draft, and it was something particular about that particular Vesta, right? Do y'all remember? I think it was about 2 weeks ago when I was somewhere else in the world. Remember that Vesta came in the room and it said, whoever it was with their chest, they said Deshaun Watson is going to get 8 games. Shedeur Sanders is going to get 8 games. And the last 2 games will probably be split between them. And I said, what? I said, Will, Family Guy, don't come in here with that. We don't have time to be talking about no split, no 8, and 2 games to be thrown up in the air. Well, listen to this right here. Who is that Vesta? We have very peculiar Vestas, trust me. All of us is peculiar, and I love all of you over here with my chest. But I think it's certain people behind these handles that be coming into Tony Talks Vested Up Compelling Sports. When they come over here with their notes, and they come over here with their drink, and they come over here with their vests, because they stay vested up over here 365 degrees. I think we actually got people that are vesters that's actually a part of an organization, and they be dropping some good nuggets in this small channel over here. So y'all remember, if not, I'm going to go ahead and find that clip and I want to bring that back to you. So Will, Family Guy, thank you so much for that. Because if it's true, you definitely is somebody behind the scenes, and I appreciate you coming over here dropping nuggets like this. Now, let's see what the latest talk was. And this is like, oh my gosh. It's true. And guess what, y'all? I'm okay with Shedeur Sanders being quarterback 2. You know why I'm okay with Shedeur Sanders being quarterback 2? Because I thought it wasn't going to go past a week 3. So if it's week 6, okay. 8, I can't see it. I think it's pushing it. Because go ahead and let Deshaun Watson get out there, break in that O-line, and work out those wide receivers. Because guess what? It is being said that once Shedeur Sanders get out there on that field, because why would the Cleveland Browns throw away this season? But if they do, it is what it is. They're the Cleveland Browns. But if Shedeur Sanders is QB2, let Deshaun Watson has QB1 spot. Because it's being said, once Shedeur Sanders get out on that field, Deshaun Watson will be no more. So all the pressure now is on Deshaun Watson. Shedeur Sanders has no pressure as quarterback 2. Let Deshaun Watson get out there and work his butt off with that O-line. Because we got a brand new O-line. Let him get out there and throw to the wide receivers. Because trust me, that pressure is definitely going to be on Deshaun Watson. He's just coming off recovery. He played a full season in the last 6 years. And he's starting to feel his start. Y'all remember that last live we did when he beat on his chest? Oh, I have no doubt I'm going to start. All right. Put your money where your mouth is. Go ahead, Deshaun Watson. And Shedeur Sanders, all Shedeur Sanders has to do is just sit on that sideline, because his number is going to get called. And I know it's going to get called before week 6 of this NFL season. No, I'm not wishing no harm or no injury to Deshaun Watson. But what I'm saying is his body is going to give out. You mean to tell me Deshaun Watson can sit out for 6 years, or let's say 2 years and a half, and his body is conditioned for a pounding that he's about to experience, minus the throwing endurance, the running endurance, the mental endurance, along with the physical endurance? He's not going to last like that. But Shedeur Sanders, who's been growling and grueling since he slid in the draft, Shedeur Sanders is already locked in. Shedeur Sanders needs to get the first week of the season off, because he's going to carry this team on the back half of the schedule and into the playoffs. So let him sit on the bench. Let him sit on the bench. I'm going to go to the comments, but I want to play this right here. And to have whoever you are, Will, Family Guy, thank you so much for coming over here and dropping these nuggets. Come on, Ocho and Cinco. Come on with it.
Deshaun Watson, Deshaun went to the spring as a clear-cut favorite, and then Shedeur has bridged the gap. According to The Athletic, Watson lacked consistency during OTAs. Watson seemed healthy and occasionally threw downfield with confidence, but he lacked consistency and threw too often into traffic. Ocho?
Yes, sir.
What you thinking?
I ain't really thinking nothing.
Job to lose?
No, yeah, I told you that, and that's exactly how it's going to be. For those that in the chat that love football, whether you're a Cleveland Browns fan or not, Deshaun Watson is the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. The job that Deshaun Watson is going to get, Uncle Joe, it is his job to lose. He has 6 weeks. I guarantee you, listen to me now. I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now, Uncle Joe. He has 6 weeks to make sure that team is playing above or better than whatever the expectations may be for that team and that quarterback. If he's not, Shedeur Sanders will fall in line as the backup and be the starter for the remainder of the season.
I don't think it's gonna take 6 weeks. I think because he's been off for so long, and that football is a timing rhythm thing, especially at the quarterback position. And if you can't be consistent in this league, fellas, y'all know, y'all played it. Bro, they only gonna deal with so much. Now they gonna give him an opportunity, Uncle Ocho.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. They gonna give, but I don't think it's gonna take 6 weeks.
No.
Shedeur get in there.
No.
Oh, if they doing bad, I think most of the time, Unc, I could be wrong. You'd be better suited to answer that when it comes to a quarterback.
Listen.
And you got somebody over your shoulder. If you're not playing well, I thought maybe it would be the 6 week mark, because you don't want to lose too much of the season when you still have a chance to compete. At least play for something.
Well,
listen.
The question is, when is their bye week? How soon is their bye week?
Right.
How bad? I mean, is the offense?
I can go ahead and answer that question. Their bye week is either late October or early November. They basically got the same bye week as last year's schedule, okay?
Stagnant. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, Ocho? I mean, you're like, three it out. Big fumble. Now, we maybe have 3-4 weeks of that, and then we got to make a switch. That's what it's just hard to be off the length of time. It's because we got to go back to, like, Deshaun hadn't been that guy, since his last year. Because remember,
last year in Houston.
Excuse me. His last year in Houston, Ocho, he led the league in passing.
Yeah, he went crazy.
And then all that information comes out. Mm-hmm. He didn't play another snap, even though he was still on the roster. Mm-hmm. He goes to Cleveland. He misses the first 11 games.
Come on with it.
The next year he gets hurt with a shoulder. The next year he tears his Achilles.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, in the last 4 to 5 years, he played one season. If you add the games up, I believe that's totality.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. It is hard to imagine any other sport in a 5-year period you play the equivalent of one season. If it's basketball, it's 82 games. So basically you play 16 games a season. Baseball is 162. So imagine you playing, 32 games, 34 games a season. It's just hard.
Yeah. Listen, I wish him the best. I wish him the best. It's all going to come down to, forget Deshaun Watson. It's going to come down to how well are the people surrounding me going to be? How well are my receivers going to always be where I expect them to be? Are they going to be able to get open?
Can they block? Can they run?
Oh, no. Oh, no, Ocho. Did y'all see how Ocho's tone started? Because he started this particular segment, and shout out to you, Ocho. I know you watched the show also. No cap. Did y'all see how Ocho, he was beating his chest, and he said he know without a doubt that Deshaun Watson is going to start. He was saying that with his chest, but he also said that Deshaun Watson is only going to get 6 game total to do what he needs to do. So y'all, I know it sounds like a lot, but when you do the math, that means that the Cleveland Browns is only going to give Deshaun Watson 35% of the games. When you do the math, that means that the Cleveland Browns, Andrew Berry, Todd Monken, Jimmy Haslam, is only going to give him 35% of the games. That means that Shedeur Sanders is going to get the remaining 65%. So don't stress. Investors, don't stress. Because Andrew Berry, listen, he did the math too. And I know Andrew Berry watched this show here, no cap. If they, once again, I'm just saying, the Cleveland Browns right now is just beating on their chest that other teams is calling for a player that they want. But Cleveland Browns, as one of the investors, got exactly what I said. Don't get, what is it? What did you say? Don't get drunk off of Shedeur Sanders' aura and his energy. Don't think you could continue to play with that young man. Because I told y'all many times before, if the Cleveland Browns continue to play with Shedeur Sanders, he's only going to have 2 more years on this contract. That means that Shedeur, and they don't have rights to his fifth year because they didn't draft him as a first rounder or second rounder. That means in 2 years, you keep playing with Shedeur Sanders like this, in 2 years, Shedeur Sanders is going to walk out of that locker room and he's going to go to a team that appreciates him. Y'all, listen, Cleveland Browns, I pray that y'all are just giving Mary Kay Cabot and whoever this information just to beat your chest, but don't be stupid. Please don't be stupid. And to whatever team, if the Cleveland Browns is going to be the Cleveland Browns, please let us know when you're going to draft Shedeur Sanders. Make sure you got that number 2 open, and we're coming on our way in our caravans, our planes, our jets, our Hummers, and everything else here. So let me go ahead and go to the chats, and that's it. But Ocho, don't say Deshaun Watson is going to start, but then it's going to be up to the wide receivers to be where they need to be, and it's going to be up to the O-line to be where they need to be and do what they need to be in order to give Deshaun Watson the best advantage. No. If you're the quarterback number 1, you're quarterback number 1. You're the leader. You supposed to make, not the player supposed to make. You as quarterback 1 need to make sure that they are where they're at and doing their job. So Ocho, you can't have it. Deshaun Watson cannot have it both ways. He can't be quarterback 1 and then say, okay, wide receiver, you better be where you're supposed to be. All right, O-line, you supposed to make sure you do what you're supposed to. No. Deshaun Watson supposed to be like Casey Concepcion. I need you right here. You're the leader. So I hope y'all catch how Ocho changed his tune when Shannon Sharp and I forgot the other man's name was giving their take on this. But Deshaun Watson, go ahead with the first 6 games if you make it. But Shedeur Sanders only got to sit on the bench because he know his number is going to get called. His number may even get called as early as week 2 or week 3 because Deshaun Watson's body is no longer conditioned to be back on that field like that. Impossible. Let's go right here. Let's go to the comments. Mel, Blind Beauty, big time. What's going on with you, Sharon? Come on with it. Hey, how you doing, Tasha D? Definitely. The NFL teams know how good Shedeur is, and now they're calling for him. Yeah, they don't want no Deshaun Watson. They don't want no Dylan Gabriel. And y'all, Cleveland, go ahead and continue to tuck Taylor Green because y'all got something in that young man. Thank you so much for that. Worst draft, Sorby to start. They will crash and burn without Shedeur. Let me tell you one thing. If you didn't catch, so in one of my last lives regarding Carmelo Anthony, I cut off that video on my take regarding Sorsby being drafted. Now, the application deadline was yesterday. And I also went through that live in that segment because it's out there on the channel on the videos. The NFL, if they accept his application, that means that Shedeur Sanders' character issues was non-existent. And I hate to say this because I know I have a mixed audience. The NFL colluded against Shedeur Sanders because, I hate to say this, because he was a black quarterback and he had the Sanders name. If they let Sorsby enter into that NFL supplemental draft with one of the major big flags ever, because he confessed to being an addict, gambling quarterback, that means that Shedeur Sanders Shedeur Sanders could have walked on the moon. They still was gonna cause him to slide like that because of what issues they had against his father, Coach Prime Deion Sanders. And I want to bring this up. Wasn't it a couple weeks ago, last week, that Deion Sanders, he said that he liked what Cleveland was doing and he was okay with how Cleveland was operating their team? Let's keep going. But Sorsby, if they want to give up Shedeur Sanders for a Sorsby, have at it, Cleveland Browns. Definitely have at it. You definitely would be the Cleveland Clowns if you let go of Shedeur Sanders for Sorsby, who had worse stats than Shedeur Sanders. What are we doing? But now they saying that the draft is they saying that Sorsby may be going to the Jets, but still the Jets. That means that you still you looked up a Shedeur Sanders in the 2025 draft to pick up a Sorsby? Damn. Y'all, this is going to be interesting. Drop off his era, you better say it. Hey, how you doing? Tesla Talks TV. Good, hey, good morning, investors. Blind Beauty Big Time. Yes. Let's see here. How you doing, Rob Man? I hope Shedeur does get traded if the Browns don't want him. Yeah, if the Browns don't want him, hey, that's a whole nother story. And let him go. But let him go. But once again, like I'm saying, why would the Browns do that? To put Dylan Gabriel as quarterback too? That means they want to lose this year. That means they want to lose this year. Because if Deshaun Watson can't cut it to game 3, maybe game 4, and you put the rest of the season in Dylan Gabriel's hand, you want to lose. But they will have some hope in Taylor Green. But that means that Taylor Green will have to get the first team reps. But trust me, I don't think the Cleveland, now they crazy, but I don't think they crazy. This is the new regime. Remember, we said the new Cleveland Browns era. They let go Kevin Stefanski because of how he treated Shedeur. That means that they saw more value in Shedeur Sanders versus Kevin Stefanski. Why would they let Shedeur Sanders go when they let go the head coach? Y'all trust me. I know I've been busy with another topic, but I ain't lost everything. We don't have short-term memory over here. If he was quarterback too, it won't be for long. Right. Tesla Talks. I prefer Deshaun to start at least 4 games, no more, no less. That's right. Go ahead and put him out there, because once Deshaun Watson, and this is probably why they didn't say game 3, they're going to give him enough rope to show exactly what he got. Because after 6 games, either you got it or you don't. It shouldn't be no more arguments after 6 games, 35% of the schedule. And that means Shedeur Sanders don't have no more pressure on his back. That means nobody can't say, well, why the Browns didn't give Deshaun Watson 3 more games to show himself? And then they still would have been able to have that power to continue these crazy narratives. No. Let Deshaun Watson get 6 games and we'll be over this narrative. We will be over this, okay? Happy Tuesday. What's up, Peter Supernatural? You know I missed you. How you doing, Peter? Hey, what's up, blessed and highly favored? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The algorithm did exactly what it needed to do. Peter, fire. Let's see, fire, Saddam. Okay, Sean Longway, you may be driving, don't drive. But yeah, I guess you're saying if this happens, definitely fire Andrew Berry. Maybe that's what you're saying. But yeah, if this happens and they lose this season, yeah, Andrew Berry, yes. Already traded out our best player. What? Listen, we got a good player in verse, okay? If Ocho is listening to Jerry Jeudy, we questioned Jerry Jeudy multiple times for hating on Shedeur and dropping his perfect balls. Yes, we did. Tesla Talks. Yes, we did. Okay? Yes, we did. I've been saying Watson starting the first 5 games because of the, and that's fine. Somebody's saying there is something in the contract. If they come up injury reserve, they have to have an opportunity in order to, I guess, get their starting position back, or they must get their starting position back. And as Ocho said, it is his job to lose. Where's the pressure on Shedeur Sanders? There's no pressure on Shedeur Sanders. All Shedeur Sanders has to do is just really continue his you might as well just continue what he's doing behind the scenes, because this number will get called. He will get called off of that ball, off that sideline. Mr. Jimmy needs a return on investment on the oil investment for Houston. Oh, do y'all see where? Hold on, I need to look into that. An oil investment in Houston. I need to What's up, What's up, Slim 8081? What's up, SDP 12? 08. Selmore, you don't have to do that, sweetie. You don't have to do that, sweetie. I appreciate it, but thank you so much. How you doing, Selmore? I missed you also. Good morning, Miss Tony. Thank you for keeping it real. Yeah, thank you. You don't have to. What's good, Selma? Okay, Peter, I missed y'all. Brown's doing Brown things, yes. Sorsby is good at what he does. He will throw the game. Oh. Oh, God, he's going to throw so many games. Todd has a fit. I don't think Deshaun will make it past training camp. We shall see. Hey, so the other story, we had some good information come out yesterday. So I'm going to try to come back tonight, my regular time, either 5:45 or 7:45. And I'm going to keep my ear to the streets on this Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders trade talks. But I really just think that the Cleveland Browns was just beating their chest and letting you know that other teams is interested in their 5th round pick, who is definitely a 1st round pick. But I just think they was beating their chest. Now, if they entertain this here, okay. I don't know why they would, because when Deshaun Watson goes down, who's next in line? And you have already invested in a Spencer Fano, a Casey Concepcion, a Denzel Boston, a Emmanuel McNeil Warren. What? You even got a Taylor Green. You got a Austin Bradford. What? What is all these trades for and everything? It definitely wasn't for Sorsby, right? And I know the Browns are not still trying to entertain an Arch Manning next year. But we shall see, y'all. We shall see. But thank you for the love. Thank y'all, Vessels, for coming back up in here. We strong up in here. Thank you. Jerry Jeudy needs to be traded. Jerry Jeudy only got 1 more year. And Ocho Cinco must forgot that Deshaun Watson only has 1 more year on contract. So what are we talking about? And has everybody realized? They said, oh, yeah, well, if they trade Shedeur, Deshaun only has 1 more year on his contract. They can draft a 1st round pick. 1st round pick quarterback. So what? You want to go through the rebuilding stage all of your existence by playing around with these quarterbacks when Shedeur Sanders have shown you and showed you what he did with no 1st-team reps last year and no O-line, and you're playing with, you actually got lightning in a bottle. Cleveland Browns, are you going to tempt fate? Is the Cleveland Browns going to tempt fate because they have gotten drunk off the Shedeur Sanders aura, his energy, his fans, even the fan base? You can't tell us that the Cleveland Browns don't love the fan base, because guess what? We're the ones that buy the merchandise. We're the one that buy the seats. We're the ones that would buy the items in the concession stands. We're the one that keeps the Cleveland Browns name in the algorithm. And you think the Cleveland Browns is going to give that up with a Shedeur Sanders? Listen, I'm pretty sure there are other teams that is highly interested in a Shedeur Sanders, because they're going to get a 5th round pick. You only got to pay him $1 million a year before taxes, and you got a mega fan base that's coming with him that is going to generate millions and millions and hundreds of $1 million. Man, oh my gosh. The Cleveland Browns can't be that stupid, y'all. I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. But Jerry Jeudy, he only got 1 more year. Jerry Jeudy need to worry about his own stats this year and not trying to play Judas again this year, because Deshaun Watson is your boy. You only got 1 more year. And you think Deshaun Watson is going to give you the stats so another team can call the Cleveland Browns for you, Jerry Jeudy? Oh, no. Trust me, I ain't forgot nothing. Jerry Jeudy, ain't nobody forgot that you can't catch no balls and that you're just a regular, what do you call it? Just an average guy. You're a jag. Jerry Jeudy. Oh my gosh. New Cleveland Browns Shedeur wants to be in Cleveland. Miles wanted to get out when they told him what? Right. So why would they get, come on. I don't got to put it together. Y'all can put it together. All right, investors and viewers, we did that right there. Like I said, I'm still going to keep my ears to the ground. The other case is moving in the right direction. So I plan on coming back around 5:45 or 7:45 in my normal time slot and just go ahead and give you more commentary on what I dug up regarding this. But I really just think that the Cleveland Browns is just beating their chest because they calling for a Shedeur Sanders. They definitely ain't calling for a Deshaun Watson. What's that telling you? That means that all the other 31 teams have common sense. They don't even know why the Browns is even wasting time on a Deshaun Watson, but I guess it could be some type of stipulation in his contract. And hey, they got to play him, right? Because he was the starter before he got injured. But it shouldn't be no trade. It shouldn't be no trade for Shedeur Sanders. And I'm going to leave it like that, okay? So you enjoy your day, and I'll see you this afternoon. So until next time, make sure you go ahead and get your notes, your drink, and your vest. And Lady E, I saw you in there, sweetie. I messed it up. So until next time, make sure you go ahead and get your notes, your drink, and your vest. Because we say vested up over here 365 degrees at Tony Talks Vested Up. Come on with it. They ain't trading no Shedeur. They just beating their chest. They saying, hey, we got teams calling for Shedeur. They just trying to boast. You know, they got an ego, right? They got an ego. All right, see you later too, Peter Supernatural. And thank you, investors, for sticking with me while I handle another case. So thank you for the love and the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Will Family House guy, I got your name right, but you know who I'm talking about. You was on to something. But thank you for coming over here and finding Tony Talks Vested Up. And to all of you investors that dropped the nuggets in the chats, and to all of you investors that come over here and show love and have real conversation. We over here doing this thing. All right, investors. I'll talk to you later. Oh, yes.